big girl got a little bigger. What's going on, everyone? It's been 3 months since I last did an IJ update, but a lot of work has happened during that time. I just wanted to have enough done where doing an update was going to be substantial. And I think we've got to that point, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's cover what we've got done to this point. Now, the last time you saw that, it was a different color. I have painted it since then. I did a rough sanding and a paint job. I did my level of paint job. You should all expect that. That's what you get. Nothing has changed there. This is Electric Boogaloo from Paint Huffer, and I like the color. In the sun, it's got a lot of metallic to it as well. So overall, pretty happy with that. I haven't cut a windshield yet. I need to get to that. But most of the aesthetic things on the body are done, like I said, other than that windshield, and I haven't done the lights yet. Now, the body has had some other changes as well. I did black front fenders, which you can see the lip of there. I did a black grille while I was at it. And then the interior parts are also black now as well. I feel like I printed more things in black, but I don't remember what those were. Anyway, like some of the top cap of the body that's in the back here. I haven't installed the little trim pieces yet, but we're getting there. One other thing that I did with the exterior stuff is I did strip down the cage. Got rid of that paint screw up that happened when I dropped the cage after painting it the first time. And I ended up shooting everything in flat black. The cage, the sliders, the front and rear bumpers, and the front shock tower setup. All of that has been now finished in a flat black. And I'm pretty happy with how that looks with the purple. Black oftentimes looks like, it could be 3D printed or whatever, but I think when you see it in person and once it starts getting beat up on the rocks, it'll be fine. Another appearance thing, it now has aluminum axles, front and rear. And I know that I've been pretty concerned about weight, and it did get heavier being that I added aluminum axles. However, it's because it was getting heavier that I ended up doing the axles. Being that I'm going to take this thing to Kentucky for Beat the Creek at the beginning of May, I needed it to be as bulletproof as possible. I didn't want, something to happen while I was out there that ended up causing me to have to do a repair while I was there or just not drive it. So that's why I did the aluminum axles. While I did the aluminum axles, I also did third members, front and rear, and I did the aluminum front servo mount. I did the aluminum ram clamps while I was at it, just because. So, good and bulletproof as far as all that stuff goes. And I think it looks good as well. I already had the brass knuckles on, so no need to do any more on that side of it, but looking good underneath of there. The big focus that I wanted to get done since the last video was that rear battery tray situation. And it wasn't just a battery tray. It needed to be able to house the shift servos for the VFD twin that I'm using inside. So getting that whole configuration done did require me to redesign pretty much all the center pieces of this kit. So both of the rear bed internal pieces as well as the interior base all got redone. It is installed here, and I'll show you currently how it works. I designed this little flex lever type thing that it's spring loaded. I stole one of Nicole's pens, her good pen too. I stole the spring out of it, and that's what returns this thing back upwards. But the lid here is also a spring or a compliant mechanism, however you want to call it. If you push down the lever, you can do it one-handed pretty easy. If you push it down and then flip that up, this is the lid to the battery tray. It's got this front basket, which helps kind of just make everything look a little bit more complete. And the basket is actually part of the system though, because this little lip in the front here, that actually retains this tray on the front side. It clips underneath of the roll cage, and that is what keeps it going from going front to back. And then the rear portion here, it is just a spring itself. In the resting position, it's all the way out, and that's where this thing locks into position. And you flex it in by pushing that lever on the back, and then you pull it up from there. And that's how you get this thing in and out, but it locks in super securely. I already have the battery in there. This is a 2200 milliamp 3S. So if you pull this up, you can see, and it's plugged in currently. So you pull that out, and there you go, XT60. It's got a hard-mounted XT60 plug on the inside there. I really like the hard-mounted XT60s. It's just nice to be able to plug it in or unplug it one-handed without like pulling on your power wires so much. It's just a nice solution. I keep those around and try to use them on custom builds as much as I can. But that is how this situation goes in there. Put it in, you just kind of flex it in and it goes down. There is a little finger hole here on the front side in case you need to be able to pull it up a little bit more, or it's pretty easy to do one-handed on the back side there. Now I did end up eliminating the original IJ shock tower and all that stuff, as well as the tray that was between them. So I ended up going back to stock VS410 shock towers in the rear. The simple solution, it's the one that comes with the chassis, so why not just do that? Anyway, now the rear section, I'm running a VFD twin in this as well. So to be able to operate that, I needed a place to put the shift servos, and where I wanted to put those was directly behind the driver and passenger seats. So I got that all designed into this same setup. Lift the body off, and the redesigned interior back wall and tray all have provisions for clearance of the shift servos, which are here in the chassis. Now, I am using the Reefs Raw 100s for my shift servos. I really like these servos for this application. I've used them in a number of vehicles. I just really like it. It's a mid-size servo, but it does, it shifts a VFD twin really, really well. So that's what I designed around, because those are the servos that I really like. The fact that it has a full-size servo horn output, huge bonus as well, because you can use standard servo horns. Just one more thing about those that I really enjoy. I've already made the linkage for the dig side. I haven't done the linkage yet for the overdrive side. I also need to reprint this firewall. I'll do that soon. I may swap out the motor and ESC. I'm not loving this Hobbywing system. I've driven it in another vehicle and it's just a little weird. So I may swap that out for a Holmes 10-pole in-runner and a V3. So probably gonna go that route, just because I did drive another vehicle with that and I really liked it. So I think that's gonna be my swap. So at this point I haven't cut the plug off of this and wired it to my hard-mounted XT60 yet, but that is the reason for it. So the items that I have left underneath of the chassis are getting that linkage set up, getting my wiring done, and if I'm going to add lights, I need to get that wiring sorted as well. So I haven't added any of the lights to the body yet, front or back, and that's gonna be needed. So I better start thinking about it sooner or later. While I was doing the new interior setup, you can also see these new seat mounts on the side. I wanted the seat to sit a little bit more realistic to an actual Jeep, so I made a frame or a seat belt or seat mount bracket, kind of like you may see in a real off-road rig. So that was just something fun. Those are currently just 3D printed out of some ABS glass fiber, but I do want to get those done in aluminum just for that little bit of extra. I also would like to do floorboards to finish enclosing off the front of this. Having it just open to everything in there, I don't love that. So that's on the list as well. A number of interior details are needed. Some dash stuff. Obviously, I don't have a steering wheel in there yet. I do have a couple of steering wheels left that were sent to me by Racing Case a while back. So I think I'll detail one of those up and get that added to this thing as well. But the actual dash cluster and some of the vent stuff, I'm going to add some special details to that. I have a new tool on its way to me, one that I haven't had like it here in the shop yet. It's quite a fancy tool, and I'm really excited to have it, and I think that it's going to be pretty perfect for what I have in mind for this stuff. So hopefully I should have that in like the next 10 days, and then I can get on to some of those details and finishing finishing parts there. I also need to cut my windshield for this. If you're interested in this rear battery setup, I will have these files available. As I mentioned, it does work in conjunction with the roll cage that I have done. So if you haven't done that cage, you will need to do that. Note that before you plan to purchase the files for the battery tray setup. You've been warned. It'll come with everything as far as the files go for this rear bed setup and the interior stuff that you see as far as like the seat mounts, the seat brackets, the seats themselves, if I didn't say that. That'll all be part of this download. Currently, this battery tray setup will not work with the printed version of the cage. Currently, this thing is just under 9 pounds with the added weight of the new axles. So we're still under where I was planning to, but I know that it's so close now that with anything else that I want to add, I'm going to end up being over. So we'll see how that goes. It is what it is. There's one other semi-large project that I think that I want to tackle. And that is that I am still using these 3D printed mounts on the side that also handle the front upper link mounts of the for the H10 axles. And I don't love this being this unsupported setup here. So I'm strongly considering redesigning these in a way that would allow me to make that all out of metal. Is it needed? That's rarely the question. It's a small concern that I think, could be an issue because I drive hard, and being the way that I've got this thing built, I'm going to drive it hard still. So I might as well build it how I would want to build it. At this stage though, I could have this thing driving today. It's, the rest of the things that I want to do are just extra stuff, bonus stuff, things that are not necessary, but I want everything. But other than that, we're ready to go, which is good. If I had to leave today with the truck, we'd be just fine. Well, I'd need a little bit of time, short amount of time, and I could be ready to go. But overall, I'm super stoked with how this build has gone. I think that everything is functioning well. I think that it's going to hold up quite nicely. And, the details that I wanted to do for style, I'm pretty pleased with how they came out. So now I still need to put the name down the side of the hood on each side. And I had an idea for the name on this, kind of where the purple came from, but maybe we should allow you guys to name it. And the comment with the most likes for the name will be what I'll put on the side, as long as it's YouTube friendly enough. I feel like that's a dangerous game to play with some of y'all, but why not? And it needs to be short enough to fit on this side with decent text size. So keep that in mind. Drop your entry in the comments. Let's see what kind of show this turns into. The next update on this should be in a couple of weeks or so. With that new tool showing up, this is one of the first projects that I have in mind for it. So hopefully by then we also have a name chosen. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Project IJ. If you're enjoying it, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and channel memberships available if you'd like to see these videos early, which makes me concerned that my members are going to put in ridiculous choices before this video goes out. So we're going to find out. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.